Good morning. This is day 7 of my Easter fast. I'm doing one this morning because I don't know, some stuff has happened this morning and it's been fun, and so I'm sharing now before I forget later tonight. Um, but the first thing that I wanted to mention is that I'm really genuinely enjoying cooking for my family, and that's crazy because I go in spurts, where I'm like, "Ooh, I want to try this and I want to try that," and then I don't have the time for it, or my kids complain or whatever, and I'm like, "Meh, forget it." But the day that I started fasting, I started cooking 3 meals, or creating at least 3 meals a day for my kids, for my boys at least, and now my big kids are home, um, and this morning, I think for like the first, maybe it's the second or third time this school year, I made them food for breakfast. It's usually just like you get your cereal, and we sit down, and so that it's exciting. The kids were so excited to eat food. I just made them like an egg muffin, English muffin, egg and cheese and ham, and they loved it. And it was exciting. And it smells good, like they smell good. I'm enjoying the I'm enjoying using my other senses for food. Um to look at just the look of different foods, and to smell the foods. Like, my sense of smell is um has really been a benefit to me. It hasn't been a hindrance uh in this whole thing, like in smelling food and stuff. It really smells good, and I can like really genuinely tell the difference between something that is still good and something that is turning to not so good, um, which is awesome. That I can tell that difference, like to smell something and go, no, that's not right. I wasn't really able to do that before. So that's cool. So that's one thing that I wanted to mention. Like, it's really been a blessing because this is something that I've been talking to the Lord about for a long time. Like, Lord, how do I find a way to cook for my family and enjoy cooking for my family? Like, it's just, I don't have fun doing it. And I am really having fun doing it right now. So that's awesome, and I am believing and declaring that this will continue. Um, that this is something that is the beginning, not just a byproduct of fasting, and it'll go away when I'm done. Um, Another thing is that I'm actually seeing the difference in my face. Like, I've had people mention, "Oh, your face." Well, just the 2 people that know that I'm fasting. "Your face looks thin." And I'm like, "What? I don't get it." But then today I was looking at my face and I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I have cheekbones now. Um, so it's good. Just put on some makeup and no one will know the difference. Um, so I spent time with the Lord this morning. This is the main thing. I spent some time with the Lord this morning and just praised Him and worshipped Him, and um, just asked Him some questions. Um, and He, it was strange and awesome, but it's like, I was like, "Lord, I just want to rest in you. Like, I want to seek out these hidden, treasures and mysteries that you've you've placed, for me to uncover, like, um, and that you want me to discover. I want to find these things." And I closed my eyes, and it's like he took me on this visual. It was almost like watching the beginning of creation. It was just amazing, like on this, just this visual journey of uh, like grass and a cliff, and grass kind of hanging over it, and then mud and like huge rocks breaking through and forming mountains and and valleys and water filling it and then emptying and filling and emptying and there are caverns after the water fills and empties and fills and empties. And he took me through this like this huge ridge that kind of came around and went like this, and like right in the corner where it meets, where it curves, it's there was this little opening to it, and it was like through helicopter, like those big epic Lord of the Rings, like panning around or like flying just for the scenery. So, and going through and seeing this opening and just stopping at the opening and watching things be created and then put in there and created and then put in there. And, like, almost like it looked spider webbish, or like sinewy and coming together and then falling in and coming together and almost being sucked in, all of these things that were in this cavern. And then he took me to, I think it was the Grand Canyon. All of these terrains seemed American to me. I don't know if they are or not. But it was like the Grand Canyon and like going up, down, or starting at the top and going down onto the ground, and showed me this particular place where it was just kind of bare and like reddish dirt, and ahead of me there was a lot of stuff, but this was just bare, and it's like the ground just kind of opened up, and the dirt and the rock just kept coming up and out, and I was like, this is incredible. Like, that's incredible. And it's not like anything popped up and was like, here you go, or anything, but it was just cool that to see this like getting to these places where it's time to uncover, like it's time to go in and dig and discover, like almost like yes, like a yes to what I was asking. And then I was just resting in him, and I think I fell asleep for like half a second because I heard Mark and Ezra start talking, and I was like, ugh. But then I was still resting. I didn't want to wake up quite yet, or get up at least. I was still resting, and I said, Lord, what do you want to do today? And immediately I got this picture of this industrial room, like a big workshop in a mill, like a wood mill, if that's a thing. And it was all backlit. There was a window in the back, and it was just white, light is coming in, and the room was kind of dark. There was a light on the right side, and there was this enormous tree trunk that was hanging by these two huge chains that had these claws, on either side, one at the end, one end and one at the other, into this enormous tree trunk that had been sawed lengthwise down the middle. So it was just half of one. And these two men, like lumberjack style, flannel shirts, huge hats. I don't know if they had beards. It was all backlit. But they just shoved these things in between the the trunk and the bark and just rip the bark off of this tree trunk, and the bark goes, I mean, the whole thing, you know, that whole entire curve just goes whoop and falls and is like kind of hanging on the other side. And like that was the like in a moment, that was the picture that that I got when I was like, what do you want to do today? And it was like backlit like that. And once the bark was off, that, I mean, it was like this beautiful golden wood, you know, and underneath was just this beautiful golden, like amber and light brown, you know, just not marbled, but you know how wood looks, just those that variety and shading of color within the wood. It almost looked lacquered, like it was a little wet, and but it was just beautiful. And again, I heard like uncovering, you know, to uncover something. It was super cool. So I don't know what that means, except like uncovering. Of course, we're uncovering some stuff. That's cool. But anyway, that's the vision that I got. Oh my gosh, it's not a vision. It's just a picture, not a vision. This was a really long video, so I'm gonna cut it off right now, and I'll see you guys this evening for the end of day 7. Okay, bye.